I want to close out this whole thing on understanding and negotiating with a loving God. This happened to me about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and it shook me to the very core. I was sitting at my desk in Schenectady, New York, my office, and someone had sent me a post, and it was by a lady that, and I won't go into details, but she had pink hair and seemed, I don't know, just seemed really different. But what was different about it is that she said that she had been to heaven at least 100 times and taken up by the Lord. Now, I would ordinarily say, all right, this person may may and may not be what do you call flaky or whatever. So, but something piqued my interest, and I started listening to it. And then she gave the example of where she was from and the church she was from and the pastor that had gave her carte blanche blessing that he was not a flake, that was for sure. And the church was like a church of 3 or 4 thousand, and she was always lifted up as somebody you could trust. Well, anyhow, she went to her mother was a cleaning lady. She went to clean a house to help her mother clean a house where a teenage girl had just died with a skiing accident. And while she was helping her mother clean, she was cleaning the mantle because the funeral had been held, or wake had been held at the house, and it was all done, and she was cleaning. And as she cleaned the mantle, all of a sudden she's in heaven. Now, get this: she had never seen the daughter. She had never seen the mother, never seen the people. It's a large church, didn't know who these people were. All of a sudden, she's in heaven and she sees the daughter. Now, the daughter is a teenage daughter. And she sees the daughter talking to her grandfather. Now, they're addressing each other as that. The grandfather is only 26 years old. So now we're getting into something really interesting here. So they're walking down a lane, and they said that she was talking about the flowers, and I've heard these descriptions before, that the flowers actually opened up and turned and watched them walk and then turned back. And everything was alive with color and life. It was literally alive wherever they walked. So she was talking to her grandfather, and her grandfather said, "Where would you like to go?" And he said, she said, "I would like to go on a roller coaster with you." Well, right away, my religious concept of heaven, I didn't even know what to think about. But an amusement park, all this. So she's starting to explain how that everything in the amusement park and everything in heaven is the same as it is on earth, except it's without sin, which makes it absolutely beautiful that we are going to be able to use all our creative abilities, but with no sin, and enjoy all the things. And I thought, wow, this sounds a lot like I would like heaven to be. And that's what she was convincing me. This makes sense, really makes sense. So now, all of a sudden, she's back. And she told her mother, "I need to talk to this mother. Do you know her?" And she said, "I don't know her, but we could find out." Well, she made a contact with her, called her, and the lady did not want to meet with her at her house. She wanted to meet with her separate somewhere because she had no idea, and it sounded like a flaky lady. So they met, I think it was at a Walmart parking lot or something. And right away, the lady was standoffish. And in the standoff part, the mother, this lady knew that she was rejecting it because she was used to it. So she said, "All right, then let me ask you this. What did my daughter look like?" And she described the daughter. She said, "Well, what was my daughter saying?" And this is where it really, really broke. She said it was very strange, but she was meeting her grandfather. And she said her grandfather asked her what she'd like to do. And she said, "I would love to go on a roller coaster with you, Grandpa." And the mother started to cry and sob. And she said, "You did see my daughter." And she said, "I went through her room and cleaning her room, and I found a diary underneath her bed. And I was reading the diary, And one of the things in the diary was, I would love to go on a roller coaster with Grandpa someday. And it was like, wow. And she said, it just so locked in. Well, at that very moment, I was convinced. This lady had been there. Now, one of the exciting things is she goes and she talks to these people and she gets them to sign an affidavit that what she has done and experienced is actually the truth, and the names and all that. So she's got this all backed up. Well, she explained the pink hair and all that. That was perfectly satisfied, understood. Now, here is where God really, really messed me up. She went on to say that these people that are in heaven, you have no idea who's there. And you would reject some of the things that she was about to say. She said, I want to tell you one thing. She said, here's one of them that I saw, Micheal Jackson. I saw Micheal Jackson. He's in heaven. Well, in a second's time, my spirit so raised up, and I said out loud, nobody's in the office, nobody's there. I said out loud, no way, no way. I don't accept that. And boy, the Lord came down in such a way. And he smote me so hard. And he said, do you want me to put him in hell? And I could not believe the feeling I got inside. My Lord asking me, after he died, for all mankind, and they, whatever it was they did in the nighttime, in the night season, their last breath, wherever it was, they received the forgiveness of their sins, and they were allowed to go to heaven. Now, Father's asking me, do you want me to put them in hell? Who are you? And it was like, it's just not right. God, who am I? Who am I to say whether somebody should go to hell or not? I wonder sometimes if I'm going to make it now. And I turn around and I say, God, oh, you're so gracious, you're so wonderful, you're so marvelous, you saved these people in the last minute. And God, you saved me. And Lord, you could put me in hell just as quick as anything. I don't deserve a single thing, God. I don't deserve nothing. And when I saw the love of God in my judging attitude, it stinks, it's rotten. How can I possibly think that God would want to send anybody to hell after he did all of that to save somebody? I should be thrilled to the very core that Micheal Jackson is there, she saw Johnny Cash and this person, and explained some of the things that God explained to her, why they are there. I should be so thrilled. How can I be this stinking religious, rotten religious, to not have a relationship with my Father that would draw all these people into the Father's love and get them into the kingdom? And boy, I'll tell you, my life changed. I am just so thrilled that, God, if you can please accept me because of the blood that's on my life. That's the only way, not my works, not my attitude. Anyhow, I wanted to share that because I'm telling you right now, we are so blessed to have a loving God that he's made a place for us. I can't express it any other way.